All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another NBA offseason video. But this time, we have key games, key dates, key weeks for the NBA next season. The NBA has been sort of trickling out um, a lot of their schedule, and I think every team released their schedule yesterday. That would be Thursday. I'm recording this on Friday. You guys are getting this on Saturday, but I do want to talk about the games. I'm going to rank the games a little bit, which games I'm going to be watching, which games I really want to watch. I'm looking forward to. Talk about the teams a little bit. Um, Talk about how the NBA has sort of changed how they distribute their games. A lot of them are on streaming services now. We'll talk about what streaming services you need to watch every game if you are inclined to watch every game. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. If you like what I say, like the video. If you have any opinions, comment it down below. And if you like the vibes, consider subscribing. So in front of you, we'll go over the ones in front of you real quick. Obviously, on the right, Christmas Day, um, December 25th. That's when Christmas is. Let's see here. On the top left, you have October 21st to October 24th is opening week. And then from January 20th to January 24th, it is cut off at the bottom. I know. We'll talk about it in a minute. Is Rivals Week, something the NBA has been doing for a little while now. Something that's pretty enjoyable. Some of these rivalries don't make sense. I think they just make up some BS sometimes. But we'll talk about it nonetheless. Before we hop into these games, I want to talk about what services you need in order to watch these games. Every game, if you want to watch every game, I should say. So I'm gonna go through some of these services, and I'm gonna go through what they have, like what key dates they're going to have. Obviously, you can see on your screen some of the games have the provider you need underneath them. So yeah, for next season, you're going to need NBC/Peacock to watch some games. You're going to need Amazon Prime, just Prime, or you're going to need ESPN/ABC. Those are the only things you need to watch every NBA game. Now, NBA Tip Off, what they usually call it, is going to be hosted on NBC/Peacock, ESPN, and Prime. So opening week, you can watch it almost anywhere. Then the Emirates NBA Cup, which we'll talk about um, later. We'll talk about later when we get closer to those to the season starting. You're going to need Prime, ESPN, or NBC/Peacock. Christmas Day, ABC/ESPN. You're gonna need that to watch Christmas Day. Pretty sure that's available to everybody if you have cable. Um, And then Martin Luther King Day, you're going to need NBC/Peacock. That's the only place you can watch MLK Day games. And then Rivals Week is available on almost every platform: ABC/ESPN, NBC/Peacock, Prime. All Star Weekend is available on ESPN or Peacock/NBC. That is very cool, actually. I forgot that the All Star game is in Los Angeles. I forgot. Feels like, excuse me, feels like such a long ways away. The play-in tournament is going to be on Prime, which is a interesting choice because those play-in tournament games are really good. I get why why Amazon would want those games, but like to not show like everybody who doesn't have Prime the really competitive teams at the bottom of the conferences is kind of weird. And the playoffs are going to be on every streaming service: ESPN/ABC, NBC/Peacock, and then Prime. And then the finals, as always, will be on ABC, June 2026. Damn, that's a long ways away, but we'll get there. This is the start of getting there. Let's yap about some of these games here on your screen. Let me pull up my thing here. Yes, okay, so opening. Well, let's start with opening day before we get to opening week. Opening day, Tuesday, October 21st. You have the Warriors versus the Lakers. So Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler versus Luka Doncic, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton on the Lakers. How do I feel about this game? um, this is a. I would think this is a rivalry week matchup. I would prefer this over Warriors Mavs down here at the bottom left of your screen. But this is an opening day game. As a Warriors fan, I will say this: unless we make moves anywhere between training camp and today, which today when I'm recording this is the 15th of the Friday the 15th. Um, I don't think the Warriors should be playing on opening day. I get the LeBron James versus the Warriors slash Steph Curry is always big money. Everybody loves watching those games. The Warriors suck though. The Warriors do not have a good roster, and I'm vaguely concerned about them. I shouldn't even say vaguely. I'm very concerned about them. I made a whole video about them and Jonathan Kaminga. If you want to check that out, I'll put a card on the top right corner. Just click it; it'll take you right to the video. Um, but this Warriors team does not match up to this Lakers team. Um, and the Lakers aren't even that great either. But the Lakers have more firepower, and I think they have a more put together team. I think the Warriors have more continuity. I think the game's going to be fine, but I just don't. I'm not convinced this is an opening day game. And I would, if I'm going to rank this, like we'll do um, A, B, C, D, and we'll rank it like that. I'd give this like I give it like a B minus. It's an okay game. I don't know. You can't sell me on this game. I'm gonna watch it, but you can't sell me on this game. This game might this might be a statement game for the Lakers to come out and kick some butt. Um, as the Lakers have had the Warriors number a couple times in the play-in tournament, or the playing portion of the season, but to start the season off, either the Warriors might be clicking on all cylinders, or the Lakers just might come out and like gangbusters and beat up on the poor old Warriors. So yeah, give it a B minus. B minus. The second game. Oh, maybe I went backwards. That game is at 10. The other game is the start at 7:30. Um, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. What was it? Kevin Durant. Ahmed Thompson. Alperen Şengün. Versus OKC in Oklahoma on ring night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, J Dub, Jay Williams, hoisting up their first banner for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Kevin Durant, a former Oklahoma City Thunder, has to be there to watch it. Um, I see what the NBA is doing here. Cheeky. I like it. Um, this is a very good matchup for what would be probably, I think, the, both these teams are going to end up in the top three, right? When it's all said and done. I think the Rockets have the potential to be a top three team. I think they have the motivation to be a top three team as well. And obviously, the reigning champions get all the respect. They're going to be in these conversations for the top part of the conference. Um, Matchup wise, I really like this. I like Ahmed Thompson versus I guess it'd probably be Jalen Williams or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I like Kevin Durant versus like Lou Zhang Dort and like the defensive stoppers that Oklahoma still has. I like Chet versus Şengün. That's gonna be a great matchup in the paint. I would give this like I might should I be generous and start with an A plus? There might not be a lot of A pluses here. I give it an A plus. A plus is good. And from what I'm gathering right now, the team on the left is away, and the team on the right is home because Oklahoma's home for ring night. So going forward, just keep that in mind. Everything on the left side of the time that the game starts is the away team, and the one on the right is the home team. Moving on here, Wednesday, the second opening day of opening week. Cleveland versus the Knicks. Cleveland, Lonzo Ball, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell versus um, the Knicks, who really didn't make a lot of offseason moves, but sort of brought the same team back. I mean, Jalen Brunson, Cat, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. I don't know how I feel about this game. it's gonna be a fun game, but I think I I don't know how exciting this game is gonna be. It is an early start time, which I appreciate, 7 o'clock. Um, I don't really know what I think about this matchup. I mean, they have it twice already because then you have Cleveland versus the Knicks on opening night, and then you have Cleveland versus the Knicks on Christmas Day. Um, I don't know how I feel about the matchup though in itself. I think I haven't even said who I think are gonna win these games. I'm just saying what I think about the game itself. But I will say I think the Knicks win this. Um, and I give this game I give it a B minus as well. I'm not sure how I feel about this game. It might be okay. It's gonna be fun to watch, but I think matchup wise, I think it's gonna be like a B minus. Yeah. Um, Heading over to the other game of that night on the 22nd. Yeah, that's the 22nd. Spurs in Dallas to play the Mavericks, number one picks versus each other. Victor Wembanyama from a couple years ago versus Cooper Flag from this past year's draft. Um, Anthony Davis versus Wemby. Cooper Flag versus whoever the Spurs are going to run out there at small forward. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper versus D'Angelo Russell and old Clay Thompson. Um, um, this is gonna be a fun game. I don't remember Wemby and Anthony Davis playing against each other that much because Anthony Davis was out for a lot of the season, and then Victor Wembanyama had that blood clot thing. So I don't remember them matching up that much. This might be like a first real look at the matchup. And Anthony Davis without LeBron James as well. And the Spurs effectively going really young, and they also extended De'Aaron Fox, which we have to talk about at some point. I keep putting that off as well. Um, I'm gonna give this a I'm gonna give this an A plus as well. I like this game. I think this is a great matchup. I think this is a great game. So yeah, that's our second A plus of the video. Right? Yeah, I give Rockets OKC an A plus. Yeah, yeah. Okay, moving on here to the last game of opening night. Oh no, not the last game. Pardon me. The second to last night of opening week. Um, Thursday, October 23rd. You have a finals rematch: Pacers versus Oklahoma. I get this is a finals rematch. The Pacers are without Tyrese Halliburton. They're without um, what's his name? Miles Turner. I have to look at their roster here because the Pacers the Pacers were kind of in panic mode after losing Miles Turner. And I'm gonna come out and say right now, um, this Pacers team is not gonna be a fun team to watch. They're gonna be in the dregs of it, I believe. T.J. McConnell, Jay Huff, Benedict Matham, Andrew Nemhard, Obi Toppin, Pascal Siakam, Aaron Neesmith. Yeah, um, I don't feel confident in that team the um, against the Oklahoma City Thunder, especially to start the season. But it is in Indiana, which does make a difference. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but on paper, just looking at the rosters, I'll give it an A minus. How about that? I'll give it an A minus. Just because it's a finals rematch, it does bump up on my list a little bit, but I'll give it an A minus. Um, yeah, A minus. I'm not a big fan. I can see why they saved it for like night 3 of opening week because people might not watch this one. um, Next game of opening week day 3, October 23rd. Um, the Nuggets come to town. The new look Nuggets come to town to play the Golden State Warriors. again, I as a Warriors fan, as a Steph Curry fan, I'm not looking forward to this because the Nuggets always seem to have the Warriors number, especially because the Warriors don't have any centers to guard Nikola Jokic, and now that Nikola Jokic has reinforcements, um, it's not good. It's not going to be a fun game for Warriors fans, I don't think. Um, a lot of these games and a lot of these games going forward on this list, when I talk about the Warriors, I'm just gonna say if Steph Curry has a bad game and Jimmy Butler isn't up to snuff, is is feeling like 35, um, 35 years old. I mean, they're not gonna win that game. Um, that's really it at this point. Um, So yeah, the new look Nuggets consist of Jonas Valanciunas, Tim Hardaway Jr., recurring or returning Nugget, Bruce Brown from the championship roster from a couple years ago, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, huge pickup, the young guys, Strother, Braun, Tyson, Watson, all getting better, and then Nikola Jokic, the two-time MVP. Um, I think this game is going to be fun. I think the Nuggets are going to lay the smack down, though. Lay down the smack. I give this a B plus. It's an okay game. I'll give it a B plus. B plus. B plus. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be pulling my hair out this game. Jeez. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on here. Let's move on. And then the last day of opening week, you have the sort of depleted Boston Celtics versus the Knicks. Um, a playoff rematch from a very competitive series that sort of got cut short because of the Jason Tatum Achilles injury. Yeah, the Celtics aren't the greatest right now, and I there's rumors that, or not rumors, almost confirmed at this point that the Celtics are going to bring Anthony Simons off the bench, um, and I like it because I think Peyton Pritchard's a better, more controlled player. I think that's what they're going to try to go for. They're going to have to play very controlled. They're going to have to play it very close to the chest a lot of times. I mean, I personally, this is my first time to talk about this version of the Celtics in this format. I don't trust Jaylen Brown as the number one guy. I just don't. Um, that being said, I mean you have Derek White, Payne Pritchard, Anthony Simons, like I mentioned, Mez Queta, Baylor Shireman, Sam Hauser, Hugo Gonzalez, Luca Garza, um, Josh Minot, Chris Boucher. None of these names really pop out at me, and really, I'm like, oh yeah, this team is a world beater, um, and especially against a tough nosed Knicks team with a lot of really good players. I Joe Mazzulla can coach his ass off as much as he wants, and he might be able to get the um the the coaching win, and by like the coaching battle over the Knicks new coach, Mike Brown. But Mike Brown's a good coach, man. Don't get it twisted. Mike Brown's a really good coach, and I'm that literally just came out of my mouth. I forgot Mike Brown was the coach of the Knicks. I forgot. Jeez, yeah, that's right. He is. But yeah, the Knicks are gonna win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks blow them out. Um, but I'd give this game a B, just a B. It's a B game. It's okay. Um, that's on Prime, but that's the first game on Prime. Yes, and then is this a rematch? No, this is a rematch of the playoffs. The Wolves and the Lakers. Yeah. They played. Yeah, yeah. Right. I'm not tripping. You know, they played. They played. Yeah, they played. Playoff rematch from last year. New look ish Lakers versus the Wolves in Los Angeles. Um, Lakers get two home games to start off the season. It looks like. Um, good for them. Let me see. Trying to think. This was a really good playoff matchup, if I remember. And one game to decide it for the night opening week. I don't. Is DeAndre Ayton versus Rudy Gobert a good matchup for anybody to watch? I don't know. It depends what version of DeAndre Ayton you're getting from the Lakers. Luca versus uh, Ant Man, sure, and then LeBron versus Jada McDaniels and every other forward they can run at him. I'm not sure I like this matchup though. I don't know. I think it's gonna be really dependent on how in shape Luca is to start the season. If I see Luca come out in shape and beats the socks off the Warriors, and he comes into this next game, um, to play the Wolves, this is gonna be a good game. If it's just LeBron and Luca's just okay, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this all the way through. This is A minus. Give it A minus. A minus. Good playoff rematch from last season. Good stuff. Good way to end opening week. Um, let's take a detour here. Go down a couple months, skip a whole month, go down to December 25th, Christmas Day, and let's talk about the Christmas Day games. So to start the day, a nice, I guess, lunchtime matchup on the 25th of December. Again, we have the Cavs versus the Knicks. And I don't know what I gave it last time. I literally just forgot what I gave it. But I gave it like I think I said B minus. Did I say B minus? B minus? Somewhere in that ballpark. I don't know why. I don't like this matchup. Maybe I'll brainwash myself at some point after opening day to be like, I can't wait for December 25th to watch the Cavs versus the Knicks. Um, I don't. I have no personal opinion on this. Whatever I said about it on opening day is the same thing I'm gonna say here. So yeah. And then we have um, Spurs versus OKC at 2:30. I really like this matchup. I always love to see Chet versus Wemby. I believe draft classmates, if I'm not mistaken, right? Maybe no, no, no. They're technically in the same window because Chet sat out that first year. Yeah, Chet sat out that first year, and then he was technically a rookie when Wemby was a rookie. Yeah, so yeah, not draft classmate, but started their careers in the same time. Really like that matchup. It's going to be interesting to see what what the Spurs lineup is going to be, considering that you could probably run the three guards. You could probably run. Um, you could probably run Fox, Harper, and or Fox, Castle, and Harper against this Oklahoma City Thunder team. But let me see who the Spurs have. Because the Spurs made a couple moves. Let me see. Yeah, San Antonio Spurs. Because this could be a really good matchup. This could be a superb matchup. And I'm just wondering who the Spurs. Oh yeah, Carter, my guy Carter Bryant. How could I forget? Carter Bryant. Oh, they got Lindsey Waters. Good. Kelly Olynyk. That's a good pickup as well. Still got Cam Johnson, Shohan, Barnes, Vassell, Olynyk, Kennard. Ooh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'd give this. I'm gonna give this an A. Very close A plus. I'm gonna give this an A though. Very good. Um, moving on. 5 p.m. Right when you're about to eat dinner, maybe you have this on the background. Um, maybe you're in a stupor from lunch. You're just coming out of your stupor. Um, Klay Thompson's return to Golden State. Always, I guess, a marquee game. Maybe I don't know at this. I mean, I had to stop thinking of it as Luca and the Mavs versus Golden State and Steph Curry. It's Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson versus the Warriors. Um, Again, same thing I said about Nuggets versus Warriors. Anthony Davis always freaking kicks the Warriors' butts. Unless Draymond Green is locked in as a defensive masterclass. Anthony Davis is putting belt to booty. Um, Klay Thompson could light the game up too. Um, Cooper Flag versus Jimmy Butler. Can 35-year-old Jimmy Butler contain a 19, 18-year-old Cooper Flag on Christmas Day, on his first Christmas Day game? I don't know. That being said, though, um, I do think this is a better matchup for the Warriors in the sense of Klay Thompson isn't guarding Steph Curry. D'Angelo Russell isn't guarding Steph Curry. um, I'm not sure if Cooper Flag can guard Jimmy Butler in some of his more advanced moves because Cooper Flag's a great team defender and he's a pretty good one-on-one defender. But Jimmy Butler's got some of these moves, some of these fakes, some of these pumps that just still make people fly and still make people move. So Jimmy Butler might have a good game this game. I'm gonna give this an A+. I like this game. 5 o'clock, good time. If it's a blowout, you can just flip the channel, focus on dinner, and just move on, and then wait for 8 o'clock. And 8 o'clock is Kevin Durant and his new Rockets versus LeBron James, Luka, Lakers. I'm gonna come out right now and say this is an A+. LeBron versus KD is always an A+ in my book. Um, Considering this might be, well, they're gonna play 4 times throughout the course of the year, maybe even more. This could be the start of some of their final matchups. LeBron versus KD, been going at for a long time. They're both on completely different teams. Um, yeah, that just dawned on me. Damn, that's crazy. Um, yeah, I would give this an A+. Şengün versus DeAndre Ayton, Luka versus Ahmed Thompson and whoever else is guarding him, KD versus LeBron. Showtime, man. Cinema, absolute cinema in Los Angeles. Fire. Really like this. A+. Lakers or not Lakers. Wolves versus Nuggets. The nightcap, the final game, 10:30. Um, I don't. No, I like this match. This is a B+, borderline A-. Borderline A-. Um, I think these matchups are always fun. Um, the athletic ability of Anthony Edwards versus the shooting prowess of Jamal Murray and these other guys on the team. They have the returning Bruce Brown who can probably try to guard, and you have Rudy Gobert. Is it 4-time or 3-time Defensive Player of the Year versus the 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic? That's always interesting, whether Rudy Gobert falls out or not. I completely forgot the Wolves have Julius Randle still and Naz Reid. I completely forgot about that. It happened so early in the offseason that they kept both of them. I forgot about it. I would give this an a B+, borderline A-, and I think it's a good nightcap. Good nightcap. I don't think this is gonna be a blowout. I think this is gonna be a very competitive game. And lastly, this last bunch of games, this last group of games, Rivals Week, January 20th is the start. Again, we're missing some games at the bottom here. About 3 games below Rockets, Pistons, Pacers, OKC. There's about 3 games down there that I just couldn't fit in here. But we'll talk about them, rest assured. We'll save that for the end, though. The start of Rivals Week, Spurs versus Rockets. That's an A+, man. That's an A+ in Houston. That's an A+. Wemby versus KD and Şengün, and then we got Carter Bryant versus Carter Bryant isn't gonna play like that. I just got shout out my guy Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant versus Ahmed Thompson and anybody else they throw out there. um, this is gonna be a good battle of depth though, because both these teams are pretty deep. One of them is obviously very young. I think the Spurs are trying to get to where the Rockets were last year and just be a really competitive team and maybe be at the top of the conference. I don't know. We'll do our conference rankings later in the month here, but it's a good game. A+. Lakers versus the Nuggets in Denver. This was a fun playoff matchup a couple years ago. It's returning sort of in a Rivals Week form. Um, Nikola Jokic versus used to be versus Anthony Davis on the Lakers, but now it's DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton has some decent defensive moments against Jokic, very decently, very sparingly, but he has some pretty decent games. I think the numbers show that as well. Interesting. Obviously, Jokic and Luka are very friendly, so that there's the matchup there as well. Not necessarily going to guard each other, but they're very friendly. Um, LeBron versus any number of people they're going to throw at him on the Nuggets. I mean, Bruce Brown, Cam Johnson, anybody else. This this is an A. A. I think this is an A. Yeah, A. Um, Now, see, I'm going to say this here. Some of these rival week games do not make sense to me. The Cavs versus the Hornets, unless I'm missing some NBA history, which I might be, the Cavs and Hornets haven't been anywhere near each other in the past like 5 years. So I'm going to give this the first like C of the video. This is a C. This is just a bottom of the something game. Sure, I mean like LaMelo and company versus like LaMelo and like the five other guards they have versus like the Cavs. Okay, okay. Um, so the stuff I've heard about Yusuf Nurkic for the Hornets, not good. He's out of shape. He does have like 2 more months to get in shape, but not a good sign to start the season. Um, moving on, I don't want to spend too much time on that game. OKC versus the Bucks. I guess MVP versus MVP. Shea versus uh, uh, Giannis. I guess I don't. Do they have beef? When you say rivalry week, I always feel like there needs to be beef. Like there needs to be some bad blood. There needs to be some like something more at stake. You know, like something like I would rather have like the Celtics versus the Knicks, or like why can't we do like the Lakers are on here twice, but why can't we do Lakers Boston? You know, like there needs to be something else. And I do appreciate they're not going for just a corny like oh Lakers versus Celtics trope, but let's mature a little bit. Let's have something else besides MVP versus MVP. Uh, nonetheless, this is gonna be a good game. I give this a B plus or B. Yeah, B. B. We'll go B. B. Um, pretty good matchup. I think the Bucks are obviously the worst team, but anything is possible with Giannis. I don't think the OKC has anything to stop Giannis. Really? I don't think so. Yeah. And then this one, Warriors versus the next day. It was at the 22nd. Yeah, the next day, Nugget or Warriors versus Mavs. I'm gonna reserve judgment because I have to see how this Christmas Day games go. Because if either one of them beats each other, there's gonna be more at stake for this next meetup. But I give this a tentative B. It's okay. Um, again, I think this one in particular, Warriors versus Mavs on Christmas Day and in Rivals Week, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait and see what happens on Christmas Day. I'm gonna have to wait and see. So B, but to be determined. Lakers versus Clippers, obviously in the Intuit Dome. Um, the Unction versus LeBron and Luke and them. Was it who's on the Clippers? Beal, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, um, Chris Paul. This is a fun game. This is gonna be a fun game. I depending how the Lakers season is going, I would give this a. It's always good to see Clippers Lakers. It hasn't been as fun the Battle of LA the last couple years, but both teams have a little bit of a new look. Give it a B plus. B plus is good. B plus, pretty decent. You have the um the Rockets versus the Pistons. Obviously, Ahmed Thompson and Asor Thompson, brothers on different teams. Um, I guess it's a rivalry, sure. That's the only reason they're here. I think. I don't think anybody else has beef. I mean, Jalen Green isn't on the Pistons, isn't on the Rockets anymore, so it's not Jalen Green versus Cade Cunningham anymore. I um, this is gonna be a good game, but just off the basis of this being a rivalry week game, it's like a C plus, man. I could care less about this game. The game's gonna be fun. Like on paper, I could care less about this game, but the game itself actually might be good. Um, and then we move on to Pacers OKC on the 23rd. These are both on the same day. Is it a rivalry if one of the team's best players is injured? I guess it still is, but like this is a game you turn off early if it's a blowout by either team. 9:30 start, which I appreciate, but I'm not staying up to watch this. And then the last games below that, the last games you guys can see is January 23rd. We have games on the 24th, 3 games on ABC. Um, let's see here. On ABC, Knicks versus. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. This is the first time I've seen the seen the 76ers on this list because they don't have any really good games, and they are tied for the most back-to-backs. If you did not know this season, um, you have the Knicks versus the 76ers. What version of the 76ers? I do not know. Um, is it Joel Embiid and Paul George playing in this game? Is it a back-to-back? I don't know. Are they playing in back-to-backs? Probably not. Are their knees going to explode before we get to January 24th? I don't know. Um, if Joel Embiid, this big if Joel Embiid and Paul George play for the Sixers and they get to January 24th, this is a good game. I'll give it an A. If they don't play, this is like a B. So yeah, that's at 7. That's at 3 o'clock on January 24th, and then the next game at 5:30, Wolves versus um, Wolves versus Wolves versus Warriors. Damn, that's a tongue twister. In Minneapolis, in Minnesota. Um, I give this. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun game. Um, I give it a B plus. B plus is good. B plus. Um, Steph versus Ant. Um, Jimmy Butler versus old team. Yeah, Jimmy Butler played for the Wolves. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is. I get the rivalry week game. Um, yeah, and then Draymond Green versus Rudy Gobert. Always love it. Always some fun there. And yeah, and then the creme de la creme of rivalry week. What rivalry week should really all be about? The Lakers going to Dallas to play the Mavericks. Cinema. This is an A plus plus. The NBA knew what they were doing. This is great scheduling. The last game of rivalry week, amazing. Um, Obviously, Luka returning to Dallas always gonna be a storyline for the next like 2-3 years. Luka versus Cooper Flag, LeBron versus Cooper Flag, both #1 picks. Um, DeAndre Ayton versus Anthony Davis. The Lakers didn't want Anthony Davis. They went out and got DeAndre Ayton this offseason. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is what rivalry should be about. A plus plus, man. Really good stuff. And that's the end of the games you can see. Um, I did want to talk about MLK Day games, but we're almost 40 minutes in. We'll save it for another video. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.